it's Miss Heather, piano and voice teacher at Conservatory of the Ozarks. I'm here at the Conservatory after hours, so it's very quiet. I thought I would do kind of a non-music tutorial for the first time ever, I think. I recently have been making gift baskets for the opera fundraiser this year, and it was super fun, and they're all gone. They all got purchased at the silent auction, but now I'm going to visit my grandma this weekend, and I wanted to make a gift basket to give to her and my aunt and uncle as like a bread and butter gift, a hospitality gift. So I wanted to use local items, and then I just randomly decided to make this video, so some of them are already wrapped. But I like to get these boxes and baskets that they have at Dollar Tree for $1. They have like a lot of different shapes and sizes that you can use, some bigger, some smaller, and they make a nice base. I think my aunt, she used to have a kitchen that was decorated like apples, and then last time I saw it, it was kind of like I think a mustard color and like maybe burgundy accents. So I thought this might be a nice, it's also fall, so I thought this might be a nice color because it reminds me of autumn apples. So first I fill up the basket with tissue paper. This is just my style. I haven't been educated in how to do this, so you may have better ideas than I do. But I think like I got this sourdough bread from a local bakery. It doesn't look that cute, but I know my aunt and my grandma and my uncle, everybody likes sourdough bread. And this is like from Artisan's Oven here in Springfield. So it's kind of special, but not very pretty. So I want to find a way to wrap it, hopefully. There were a couple of little chocolate bars, 2 80 bars they're called. They're from Askinosie Chocolate here in Springfield. And so I got 2 different kinds for my aunt and 2 different kinds for my uncle, and put them in these little boxes. You can get these little gift boxes also at Dollar Tree, and they make oddly shaped items easier to wrap. And then I got this kettle corn from Pop Kettle Corn Company, handmade in the Ozarks. And this homemade hot pepper jam from Ozarks Country Kitchen. I know my aunt likes that pepper jelly because she made the appetizer you can make with cream cheese with it before. And apple butter. I know my grandma likes apple butter. This is from Persimmon Hill Berry Farm. But we used to make apple butter when I was growing up, and also we used to get it at Marionville apple butter making days. So I have this Christmas box that is like just a tiny bit too small for the apple butter, but I think it'll work. So I'm going to put that in there, and then figure something else out for the bread and the other jar. So I'm out of wrapping paper, so I just use brown construction paper and brown yarn for these, which is simple and lazy, but I thought it's kind of cute. And then I have some other paper here. I use paper a lot of times to wrap, like actual paper instead of wrapping paper. These are placemats, actually, left over from a bridal shower. So some of them have little smudges on them because they actually were used as placemats during the brunch. But my sister-in-law, Michelle, she teaches art lessons here. She just gave me the leftovers because I'm sure she thought, oh, Heather won't be ashamed to use these leftovers for something. And she's right, I'm not. So I think it looks neat when you wrap with paper, actual paper, instead of gift wrapping paper, because it kind of looks a little different than regular wrapping paper. So it's kind of a nice surprise sometimes. Regular wrapping paper is nice too, but it has a really structured look to it because it's so stiff and thick, and it is unusual which I think is nice because people are so used to getting gifts in a gift bag with tissue paper, which looks fine, but it's just not very special because that's what everybody does because it's so easy. So I wrap with the paper just as if it were wrapping paper instead of actual paper. And sometimes I use the paper as a ribbon as well, which I'll show you here in a second. Sometimes if it's really thick on the ends like this, I will cut it. Because unlike wrapping paper, it's really, you know, wrapping paper is so thin. Regular paper is really thick, so sometimes it's hard to fold. So that and this. And you can see, like, because it's just actual paper, it makes these neat, like, little unexpected patterns. I'm going to cut this little bit off here too, because it's kind of too thick. And tape it. See? So it's kind of interesting, I think, because, you know, nobody else in the world will have a gift that looks like that on the outside. Because probably nobody else wraps with placemats. Most people probably use actual wrapping paper. I have this yarn. We use this yarn for the goodie bags that we pass out at conservatory events, and I also use it for breathing exercises with some of my voice students. There's a whole breathing tutorial where you can watch me tying this around my waist and my students' waists. So I have it around, and since it's there, I use it sometimes for wrapping gifts and stuff. I like the way yarn looks. I think it looks really homemade. When I was younger, I think I really liked the idea of wrapping gifts so that it looked really professional, or like making things so they looked really professional. But now I almost feel like it's kind of nice if they don't look too professional, because that way you can tell I made it by hand actually, which I like that if I get a gift from somebody and it's like, oh, they made it by hand. Wrapping is such a luxurious sort of thing to do for somebody, because it's just going to be ripped up and torn off and thrown in the trash can in 2 seconds. So it's kind of, you know, it's like, I care about you so much that even though this is just the thing you're going to throw in the trash, I still took time to make this look really nice for you. And hopefully that makes you feel special. Oh, and I have these adorable little tags. I got these for the Opera Guild hat luncheon baskets. Well, actually for the party favors, we had these tiny little Christmas boxes at Santa's hat theme table. And look how adorable that is. There are these tiny little gift tags. I got them at Hobby Lobby. So this little package, I was like, oh no, what do I do? Because these are such small gifts. And I didn't know if I wanted to just have a bunch of random tiny gifts, but I also didn't want to put everything in one basket and be like, hey, this is for my aunt and my uncle, my grandma, whichever thing you like you can take, I guess. I wanted it to be clear that I had thought about each of them and picked something that I thought would be good for each of them. So I thought I'll make a gift basket with all the items packaged and labeled for each person. So hopefully it's the best of both worlds. Like, I picked this for you, but this was a handy way to travel with it, because I don't know if I said that or not, but my aunt and my uncle and my grandma all live in Wisconsin, so I have to drive to go visit them. I don't really have a pen that's the same color as the box, so I'm just gonna maybe use brown to write my grandma's name on this little tiny tag. I got these tags at Hobby Lobby. Well, I'm not going to actually write my grandma's name. I'm going to write Grandma. This would be weird if I wrote Betty, since I don't actually call her that. Okay, so Grandma. She doesn't even like being called Grandma Betty. Unless my other grandma is there. She's like, I'm just your grandma, not a certain one of your grandmas. So, just tie that on there, and it's so cute. My grandma won't really appreciate it because she has this degenerative disease, unfortunately, and she won't even know who I am. But my aunt might appreciate that it's a nice gift for her mom. Hopefully she can vicariously enjoy it for my grandma's sake. So there it is, tiny little tag, and it's so cute. And then I was gonna put a little tag on both of these, one for Uncle David and one for Aunt Judy. So I used this brown tag for my grandma's gift because it has white paper, but since I have, I don't know if I can get my camera in so you can see all of these little things. Since my other gifts are with brown paper, I'm going to use white tags for them, I think, and that'll be, whoops, that'll be a better match, or contrast, I guess, actually, not really a match. So, oh, I also have gold and silver. I think I'll use these little small, I don't know what shape this is, but these little shapes. That'll look cute against the brown paper, I think. Too bad it's not Christmas because I have these really cute Santa hats left over. And so I'll just write Uncle David and Aunt Judy. These holes are really small, so the yarn doesn't necessarily fit through in the best way, but that's okay. And oh, one little important thing to do is to double notch the bow, because if you don't double knot the bow, sorry, this is like not a great setup for this. I have this propped on a bunch of music books, and I guess that's not the best place to prop your camera. But anyways, if you don't double knot the bow and like the strings get moved around at all while you're transporting your present, it will get loosened up and then the bow will be all weird. It'll be all loose, and the tag will be like hanging off of the present. I can't explain it, but anyways, if you double knot the bow, then everything stays in place no matter what. See? Aw, chocolates for Uncle David, so adorable. And see, I think they look cute together, the little golden dots and the little brown. And then we have the one for Aunt Judy. Oh my goodness, I didn't leave any any little string, but I think these came with some strings. Oh, but I don't know what I did with them. But I'll just paste this one to the paper. That'll be fine too. Except I won't get to use the cute little hole, but see? It still works. And this kettle corn. I think maybe I could just wrap it in this paper, and I'll put the label side down so that so it's facing out actually. See, this is also a nice thing about wrapping with regular paper instead of gift wrapping paper, because it's stiff for certain oddly shaped items. It kind of works better because it almost creates a box automatically. Here, I don't know if you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Put my little gorilla paw down here so you can see. Okay, so, oh yeah, I think it's just big enough so you can, not all paper would be big enough, but since it's the placemat ones, it is. They're really long and skinny like a placemat. So I can fasten it down, and then maybe pinch, and pinch. Hopefully it'll stay in place. And then that is kind of like popping up at an angle that I don't like, so I'm gonna see if I can pop it out with these little scissors without ruining everything. That's kind of a better angle. Now moving on to the other side. Sorry, I guess it would be better if I did like the fast forward thing of this. But let's be honest, if I have to like take this and edit it afterwards to make it that fancy, then this is never going to be done. I already have so many film footage projects saved on my computer that I need to edit. I don't need another one added to the list. And so I also have this burlap wrapper, or what's it called? Not wrapper, ribbon. So maybe I can use this. This is left over from my meet-iversary with my boyfriend. Like the day that we had met a year ago. I made a surprise gift for him to celebrate that. Because I knew he wouldn't be thinking about that. It's not like a real anniversary because it's just the day you met, so. And he was surprised. I think it's good to mark those silly little moments like that, like the day that you met or whatever. If you don't take time to like mark special moments in life, then it's like, what's the point of doing anything in life? You're not going to remember anything special or celebrate anything special. See if I can tie this into a big bow. Doesn't look dumb. I should probably watch other people's tutorials for tips on how to tie burlap bows in the best way possible. But I haven't done that so far, so I just have my amateur burlap bow. I think it looks pretty good. So I'll just trim this little edge here. Let's see. Yeah, and I think it looks good with the little other packages so far. And putting them in this basket, you know, I don't have an exact science for it. I always put the things in and then rearrange them a million times. There probably is a better methodology to follow, but I don't know what it is. Maybe I could just put this bread because this bread's going to be so annoying to wrap, but it's blue. I don't think the blue is going to look very cute. And that bread is so heavy and big. It takes up like almost all of the basket or box or whatever. I think it's too big even for one of my placemats. Let's see. I put the bottom. Whoa, the bottom is pretty flat. Oh, it might work. Let's try it and see. Oh my goodness, this bread smells so good. I should have bought a loaf for myself. I don't know why I didn't get a loaf for myself. Probably because I bought it at Mama Jean's and everything there cost like $1 million a piece. Not really. They used to have these at Sam's, but I didn't see them at Sam's, so I had to go to Mama Jean's to get them. They have several other varieties, but sourdough is the best, in my opinion. Okay, so it does fit, but not that much room. I think it's gonna be okay though. It'll at least look better than it does now. Being wrapped up might help it stay fresh longer too, I don't know. Like not quite evenly placed in paper. Hopefully that'll be alright. I was just watching this documentary about this Holocaust survivor who said the best birthday gift she ever got was a piece of bread because her friend in a concentration camp like had to go through all this stuff to get it for her so she could have one extra piece of bread on her birthday. So bread's a pretty good gift. Maybe not as much for my family, because my family probably is not starving to death, but... Alright, paper. Let's cover this bread and make it look cute. I had to double coat it in paper so it's really thick, because the paper wasn't fat enough. I lost my tape. Oh no, it's all the way under the piano. I'll just get a different tape. Okay, everything's gonna be all right. There. And this tape is not as nice as the one that I just lost under the piano, though. Fold these sides down, like so. And, oh, I wish I had a big box to put this bread in. It would be way cuter than this. It's not that cute. But that's okay. Maybe I can kind of put it underneath here because it's so heavy. It's going to weigh everything down anyway. Oh, and I out a piece of hair in the tape. I hate when I do that. My hair is always getting into everything. If I put it this way, maybe put one yarn around it. I think, ooh, no, you know what we could do? Instead of yarn, I'll just cut some of this paper long ways, this brown paper, like into a noodle. Sorry, I was just watching this veggie spiralizing video, and so everything looks like a noodle to me. See, that'll cover this ugly seam too. Like instead of a ribbon, we can just use this brown paper, and it's not long enough, so we can just tape it halfway across and then put something over the top of it here in a second. Nobody will know. So cover up the seam with the paper, and then cover up this ugly part with the paper. And then let's do the other side. Just try to cut them both about the same width, approximately. More or less. Nobody's gonna be measuring this present, hopefully. And so it's taped in the back, taped in the front, and then maybe we can just make a pretend bow with one more ribbon. I like making these paper bows. I think they're really kind of neat looking. They look really stiff. So, you know, just like that. And tape it. Tape the other side. And then I cut another little strip and cover the tape with that, so that it looks like a bow, kind of like reminiscent of a bow made from actual ribbon. See? And then you can cover up whatever looks ugly. I kind of like when they're placed diagonally like that, but you could do them this way or this way if you liked that more for some reason. But I recommend my way, of course, because I wouldn't be doing it this way unless I thought it was the best way. Let's see, so maybe like that. So let's see if you can see this basket. So we can put this maybe like that. And maybe put this one like that. Something like, oh, I don't like the handles showing really though. Put this over here so you can see if you want to see. This takes me a little while to rearrange. I don't like the handles too in front. I didn't really notice. Maybe this one should be on the side because it's kind of the tallest, and this one is so heavy it's going to sink way down, I think. Oh. And grandma there maybe. More tissue paper. stay there. So that one, kind of like that maybe, and this one. I've always heard when you package things that you should pack things from the biggest to the smallest. So I kind of try to use that rule when making gift baskets. I think these are the two biggest items. So hopefully if I find a place for them first, then everything else will kind of fit around them somehow. Put the little grandma box right there. And these two little packages, and then I have this hot pepper jelly thing. I don't know what I should do with this. Too bad I don't have more of this burlap or ribbon left. I think it would be cute, like, oh, maybe I still could do that. Just kind of like wrap it up and put a yarn around the top. Since I'm out of other things I could use. That might be cute, kind of like the opposite of what you usually see where you wrap it around the lid. If I can hold it all in place somehow, because I think it'll all wrap around. Not too bad. Okay, so this could go maybe here in the corner. Oh, except that doesn't look that cute because of burlap. Then it's like burlap on burlap. No contrast. Maybe I can put it back here. If I shove a little tissue. Oh yeah, I think that looks way better. And then I have these little brown dealies, which, oh, I think they look so cute because they're so small. And then we have the big one in front. I think that might need a little more tissue paper. That looks okay. Now I wish I had a tag for these other things. The bread and the jelly are both for my Aunt Judy, which these tags are kind of too small for that. And the kettle corn is for Uncle David. Oopsies. I'll probably just make a gift tag of them with some paper. So that will coordinate with what I'm already using. I have this brown. This is probably about the right size. And some of this table placemat paper. Maybe glue it on there. Oh, and I have a hole puncher so I can make a hole for the yarn to go through if I want to, which will be way bigger and better than the tiny little holes in the gift tags that I bought. I love how these dots don't follow a certain pattern, but they're thicker in some spots and thinner in other spots. So there's that. And then I think maybe I'll put a piece of white paper on top of that, or cream colored. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. And I can stick the tag. Maybe I'll do it on that one. That's the one for Uncle David. I wonder if I have a thicker brown pen I can use to write. Yes, I do. So I'll just try it. Uncle David, which my Uncle David loves snickerdoodle cookies, and I was thinking of going to Insomnia Cookies and getting like maybe a variety box for everybody to share, and then like a small box of snickerdoodles just for Uncle David that nobody else can have except for him. But I kind of want to wait to do that till right before we leave. So those probably can't go in this box, but I don't think anybody will be upset about having an extra box of cookies to hand. So I don't think so. And then this bread, let's see, I have, maybe I should, let's see. Maybe I'll make the bread to Grandma. I think her and Judy both like it. Well, everybody who doesn't like sourdough bread. So maybe I'll do this tag backwards from the one I just did and put brown on the outside. And I think that's probably just about the right size. Kind of want to taper it a little bit. So, like that. And this lighter shade, but it's not that much lighter. I guess maybe I could just use this same white polka dots paper. I think there's a little piece of food right there when this was actually used as a placemat. Cut around that. It was such a cute bridal shower. I loved it. I was happy to inherit some of the leftovers. All my tape is like kind of right where I really want to stick this. Maybe I should make it a little shorter. And then it can kind of, yeah, kind of want to point that way, I think. So this one's going to say Aunt Judy. Maybe I'll do this more like a cursive look. Aunt Judy. I feel bad because these aren't like super personal. It's food. And probably you have to share with the other people living in the house with you. But I'm gonna go shopping a little bit more tomorrow, and I might be able to find some other items that are more personal. I don't know. I don't see them that often, unfortunately, since they live so far away and I don't go up there that often, so I'm not sure what they all would want, really. And this Grandma. That one doesn't have much of a string left, of course, so I'll see if I can substitute with this string. Just tie it